Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Entrepreneur Middle East. We're here at HODL, and with me is Soheil. He's the director of Tokenscope. Thank you much for coming over to our booth.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really
How's
excited.
everything today? You've been busy?
Good. Yeah, I think we're speaking a little bit about the show, connecting to some of the people here. There was the IFC obviously had the FinTech Summit, which was held on a 2-day event, and that finished yesterday.
We're very familiar with it, yes.
Yeah, so now we're here at the what used to be called WBS, now rebranded to HODL.
Okay.
So it's nice to come out and speak to some of the stakeholders in this blockchain and crypto ecosystem.
Right, and at the end of the day, you are an association that brings people together, in blockchain and crypto. So tell me a little bit about the company.
That's part of what we're doing. So I'll start with Tokenscope. We are an ADGM-based blockchain infrastructure company. What we do is we deal with a lot of data. We run a lot of the top nodes. So we're securing some of the top blockchains. And what that allows us to do is use that data to secure various needs for virtual asset service providers, different financial institutions that are looking to offer crypto. And obviously a big requirement for that is to definitely adhere to some technological requirements, which what we have with RegTech and Tokenscope KYT tool. So those are the things that we're actually doing here. And on the other point that you mentioned about bringing associations together, I'm partnered with United World Blockchain Organization, and that's definitely a forefront pillar of what you've mentioned is bringing the blockchain, overall health of blockchain in different regions together under one umbrella and
100%.
taking it forward.
100%. What are you most excited about? I mean, we're having, crypto, AI, DeFi 2.0 in the next coming years. I think, what would be your focus, let's say, when it comes to all these developments we're having in such sectors?
I think everything is good. I think developments go through its own life cycle. When you look at it, there's always a point of inflection where you look at the hype narrative of every one of these. They follow a very similar pattern. And I think when you really get the chance to build is perhaps when that momentum starts to fade and the real values start to generate in itself.
Right.
So a lot of companies we see out there, we're helping companies look for value and sometimes do investments in there. But when we look at the values that they generated in the bull seasons, the bull markets of past years, they're quite different to what the values they're generating now in terms of the value of overall investment that they're looking for. And I think it's much more realistic now. And I think that evolution happens throughout all of those industries that you've mentioned. And I think they all have a very, very important part in our future.
Shaping us, in the future.
Economies.
Right, I see. How do you build trust in a decentralized, let's say, system? What would be your hacks to building that trust with your clients?
That's a very good question. I think decentralization is first and foremost, it needs to be understood because maybe a lot of us in this crypto Web3 environment, I always say it's more Web 2.5.
Okay.
So I don't know if we've truly mastered, the 3.0 stage, and I think we will get there in due time. So.
And again, I think what we don't know is what we fear.
Correct.
And that we don't have trust in it. So as long as we are bridging educational gaps, they're there and teaching people and kind of just doing very foundational explainers.
You're right.
I think that's where we should start. It's very simple and very easy, and it's gonna, work, I think, very well.
Absolutely. I think you've hit the nail on the head. Education, totally important, and also we do tend to overcomplicate things when it comes to
100%.
I think that's something that people can
sometimes
attest
I
to.
even stopped the people that enter. I'm like, explain that in simpler terms, please. There's no need to go deep down that
Yes, I think it's
vocabulary and just systems and
happens a lot.
Yeah, often. You guys in crypto love to.
It's just the nature of the beast, right? Like
there's new vocabulary popping in every single day. Every time I think I know enough about crypto to have a conversation about it, there's something new.
Yes.
and it's just so hard to keep up with it. It's just very difficult.
That's correct. But when you
we're
look
doing
at
our
it,
best.
when you look at it in the overall, it's not that much to learn. But I agree, there is a lot of tidbits that keep coming in and out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it is a bit of a learning curve.
It is.
But we're not teaching it in schools.
Yeah,
So
which we should, by the way.
maybe we
should.
should start thinking about that.
We should. So I'm gonna ask you to pick one question. You're gonna read it out loud. Your choice.
Okay.
And the
Middle
first
is
answer-
always
middle.
the best option
Oh,
for
the
me.
middle.
Yes.
Read it out loud.
How do you make a decision when you don't have all the answers? How do I make a decision? I think that's when you look at the blockchain trilemma, you have the speed, scalability, and decentralization.
Okay.
So I think when you look at any problem, whether it's a trilemma or a dilemma, you have to always take a deep look into it. And what I always do is, when I don't have all the answers, I think that's totally fine. I actually find
You wait
myself.
until you get to the point where you do.
I think the only way to do that is through belief. And if you're able to see and put yourself into a position when you're realizing the different perspectives, that can always give
Right.
you a better
Right.
vision.
Great. Well, pleasure speaking to you today.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for coming,
much.
and best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you.